Well, hey, Cornerstone. I'm standing here right in front of our newly constructed outdoor auditorium space. We've been working this past week to get things ready for our outdoor services, so I just want to give you a few updates of what that's going to look like and just go over a few protocols so you know what to expect. So I'm standing here kind of at the entry point. We've got lines painted on the gravel. You're going to park in the normal side of the parking lot where you typically would park, but just make sure you're spacing yourselves out. There's going to be tons of room, so that's not going to be a problem. As you get out of your car and you approach our entry point here, just make sure you're spaced out on the line, 6 feet apart from each other. And as you arrive, you're going to be greeted by a screener, and our screener is just going to be making sure that you are safe to enter the space. So just checking over any symptoms, any travel, any contact you've had to make sure you're good to enter into the area. After that, we're going to give you a squirt of hand sanitizer. So we're going to have an usher just reach out and give that to you. So as a side comment, this hand sanitizer right here is the best smelling hand sanitizer I've ever smelled. So you're going to love it. Your hands are going to be smelling great. And then you're going to enter into our gathering space. So one thing to note at this point is that the use of masks as you approach this area. So the guidelines right now are telling us if you are risking, if there's risk, you're not going to be able to have to maintain physical distance. It's better to wear a mask. So what we're asking is that when you arrive, you put your mask on, you wear a mask as you come to the table, and you wear a mask until you get to your space where you're going to be seated for the duration of the service. And make sure you're wearing a mask when you're not in that space. And so that's one thing to note. Make sure you're bringing a mask and that you're wearing it as you approach and until you get to your area where you're separated. If you don't have a mask, we will have some available for you. We've got some beautiful pink colored ones here that you can put on and head over to your household space. So that's the first step. We'll go over there and tell you some more at the next part of this process. Okay, so I'm standing in what we're calling a household space, which is a 10-foot by 10-foot box. Lots of space for you to gather with your family. You'll notice some of them are in the shade, some of them are in the sun, and obviously depending on the morning and the temperature, you're going to want to bring stuff that's going to make yourself feel comfortable. So we'd really encourage you to bring your own chair. We're not going to have chairs provided for you, so make sure you're bringing your own lawn chair, or bring a blanket. If you just want to lounge out, put a blanket down on the grass, that's great too. If you're worried you might be in the sun, because some people are probably going to have to sit in the sun, bring a shade umbrella or something that can give you a bit of relief from the sun. Also, bring some iced coffees, bring some water, make yourself comfortable during the service so that we're outside kind of having a picnic together, spread out. So we've got these boxes spread out. They're actually 10 feet away from each other. There's lots of space, so we're going to be really physically distanced as we're taking the service in together. So during the service, you're going to be staying in this box, and you can easily talk to people around. You can still have lots of interaction with people, but we're asking that during the service, you're staying in the box. So a big question we've been wrestling with as we've been working through our protocols for our gatherings has been to sing or not to sing. And we've been looking into this. We've been consulting some health professionals in our church. And the official documents put out by public health say when you're indoors, you shouldn't sing. But when you're outdoors, it's okay if you're physically distanced. So we made a point to actually spreading ourselves out even extra than the minimum requirement. And being outside, the risk of transmission is lower. But to be extra cautious right now, again, just to start slow, we are asking that when you come to sing, that you wear a mask. And so since we made the decision on this, I've been doing some rigorous scientific experimenting. And guess what? The results are in. When you wear a mask, you can still sing. You can still sing! It works. It's actually not that big of a deal. Is it less comfortable? Yes, of course it is. Is it a deal breaker? In my opinion, I don't think it is. And so I'm going to be singing my heart out with my mask on. And I would encourage you to come and do the same. And just having that extra level, that extra barrier, I think mitigates the risk sufficient enough that we can have that as part of our our worship gatherings. So we're excited to have that. If the mask is too uncomfortable for you, if you have some breathing issues and that's going to make it difficult, if the heat's too much, we understand. We just ask that you engage in worship just by contemplating the lyrics and even listening to others as we sing together. So that's what our outdoor services are going to look like for now as far as worship together. Again, as the summer progresses, as things change, as we see how our protocols are working here in this space, that may change. But at this point, that's what our worship times are going to look like. So that's really the main thing. Washrooms are going to be available, but we're just some limitations about who can be in the building, how many people at once, but you are going to be able to go to the washroom if you need to. If you're worried about that, that won't be a problem. But we are really looking forward to gathering together. You know, we've been in the big empty auditorium, and we thought, why not move it outside so people can join us during the summer? We've got beautiful space here, and so we might as well take advantage of that. Not a lot of churches actually have that option, and so we do. So we'd love to see you on Sunday morning. So sign up online. We have to make sure people are pre-registered. Make sure you do that as soon as possible. Registration closes midnight on Saturday night, but the earlier you can do that, the better. And we're looking forward to worshiping together this summer.